Well, this has been years, many, many years of advocacy at many, many levels across government, in Congress, through the media, through non-government organisations, advocacy organisations like Trevor Timms, Freedom of the Press Foundation. This has been a huge campaign that has been a global campaign, a grassroots campaign. And this is the culmination of that campaign. The Australian government has, as you heard from the Prime Minister now, the Australian government has been really at the edge, the coalface now at the last moments, making sure that Julian can get home. They're the only government that can represent him diplomatically, but it's the real pressure from the Australian people that led them to be able to advocate so strongly for Julian Assange. So I've been speaking to Julian over the past week. He's been getting ready to get on this flight. It's all seems very surreal and overwhelming. I mean, we're overjoyed as Julian's family. He still has a couple of hurdles to get through, as you described, before he is completely safe and sound on Australian soil. But Stella and my dad are looking forward to meeting him on the tarmac once he arrives in Australia. And this is just such a happy moment for us all, Amy and Juan. And thank you as well to your reporting on this case. Without media organisations like yours, people wouldn't know what's going on. And many of your viewers out there who I know have advocated for Julian, I want to thank them as well from the bottom of our hearts. And yeah, it's an amazing moment.
And Gabriel, there have been now for several weeks some reports that there was an impending potential plea deal that would gain Julian's release. But could you talk about in your discussions with your brother what finally put it over, and also why he is flying to the Northern Mariana Islands to appear in a federal court there? What's your understanding of that?
Well, there was a High Court appeal hearing coming up on the 9th and 10th of July in the United Kingdom, and that appeal hearing was, Julian's appeal was approved, and it was expressly on the freedom of expression parts of this case, that Julian would not enjoy freedom of expression rights if he was extradited to the United States. So there was a bit of a ticking clock for the DOJ to push this through. I doubt they would have wanted to have a very high-profile freedom of expression case in the UK courts running running up to this election season. So I think there was a bit of pressure to get this resolved. The UK election is also coming up, but I have to give credit to everybody out there who's been advocating for this for so long, because this wouldn't have been possible without them. The stopover in the islands, that is the closest US jurisdiction to Australia. So Julian can stop off there on the way back to Australia, and the judge can hopefully accept the plea deal. So that's the idea and thinking around stopping there. It's only 6 hours away from Australia and is on the way back from the United Kingdom.
And in your conversations with Julian in recent weeks, what's your sense of his health? Because there have been many concerns over the years of his imprisonment and restrictions in terms of his health.
Yeah, well, his physical health, his mental well-being has been worn down through his time in prison. So now he has, well, not quite yet, but hopefully in the next day or so, he'll be able to get some serious rest and recuperation, spend time with his two small children and his wife Stella. Yeah, it's just a very happy moment for us. The doctors I've spoken to have seen Julian, said he can recover. So we're hoping that he gets some time now to do that, where just some quiet time, to listen to the birds sing and maybe take a swim in the ocean. I spoke to Julian and he said that he was looking forward to maybe going to some of the places or seeing some of the places that he used to roam around in Melbourne. But I think life's going to be a bit different for Julian now. The last time he was in Melbourne or in Australia was many years ago, before he had such fame or notoriety. So it's going to be a different life for him, but a free life, which we're all very pumped about.